Hey kids, I have to watch the clock. I can't be on forever. But I had to come on. I had to come on. Everybody's okay. How are we today? This morning is Tuesday, May 16th. A lot of time is going by fast. I don't know what's going on here. It's going by fast. It's going by fast. But I have a little time. So I thought I'd come on. Oops. My computer's doing something crazy. Okay, 1 second. All righty, I'm getting things set up. Thanks everybody who's been signing up for the classes this month and next month. You can sign up for any of them. But now we got through August. I put them out there in the world. You can sign up for any of the classes now if you want to. No matter how early or whatever, does not matter. But I have 3 things this weekend. So hopefully you sign up for those. The Grown Folks Chat, my writing publishing class, and then of course your Try as Tiger. We have a situation there cheap. So check that out. If you're a Hardy, I just put out an interview with the creator of When Calls to Heart, the musical. I love her. Her name is Christy. We got along so great. She supports theater, which is just a big deal. And I fell in love with her in the interview. She was wonderful. Hello, everybody. JH fans first. Jason Jose, hello. George Blackman, Daisy Flower, all the men this morning, and Daisy Flower. The men and Daisy Flower. Thank you. Yeah, I did that. I love her. She was in politics too. Her husband, she believes in theater and pushing the arts. I was like, hello, I agree. She was saying all this stuff before we got on the show. Afterwards, I was just like, she just saying everything I agree with. I was like, and it's so funny how we come from different backgrounds and how art can bring people together. That's how beautiful that is. That's how beautiful it is. And also, I love the show When Calls to Heart. So that was kind of fun. I got my tickets to see Tina Turner the musical in June. I'm gonna see it with Tony Moore, my chocolate twin, my sister, and my brother-in-law. I got them for $39 a seat, and they're actually good seats. I was like, I was like so happy. Got them last night. So happy, can't believe it. It was good. So I'm very excited. 5-year plan, isn't that funny, JH fan? Like, I mean, it's I understand that. I know what it's like to get shit out, just get it out there. Just work on it and you can get out there sooner. Hi, Nikisha Moore, how are you? So yes, it's very much yes. So yes, it's a great interview. And I have another interview coming up Thursday with the guy who did the licensing for it. We're gonna talk about all kinds of what licensing means, what you do. It's gonna be a good conversation, another good conversation related to that. I love these kind of interviews where I can just talk about, how things behind the scenes. I know you guys like the tea also. I like it too. I just recorded an episode of Coffee and Conversation with James and Melissa. We had done one all year. That'll be premiering next week. So next Tuesday, it will be out. We did an hour-long special. I may cut it into 2, I'm not sure yet. But it was good. It was good. It was good. It was good to see her. It was good to talk to her. I think it was a light conversation. So grab some coffee or tea and sit with us. We'll have a good time. Obviously. This week's sign for this week's classes. Turning your published ideas into something on Friday. The Grown Folks Chat is on Saturday night, 4 p.m. my time. So East Coast at 7 p.m. So not too late. And if you're Try as Tiger, we have a private event. So 3 events this weekend, and then literally, I have events almost every weekend until August. There's a few weekends there isn't anything, but almost every weekend I have an event. So we're gonna have some fun this summer. Some fun. We're gonna have a good time. So sign up when you can. You can sign up for things in August. You can sign up for things in July. It doesn't matter when. I said, well, if you have the money, sign up now, get your spot, be done. And then I'll remind you later if you're like, yeah, I'm sure. You can always ask me anytime. But we are working. We're gonna work. We're gonna have a good summer together. Have some good Zooms, some good prizes, kind of things you can learn. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be my first summer doing this. And my 1 year anniversary will be in September. So I might plan something really big in September, an event that I might do for free and to say anybody wants to come can come to it. I'm thinking about that. I think for the first one of September might be just a big free Zoom. Everybody can come to it and let's have a good time or something. I don't know, I'm deciding yet. So I'm working on that too. But I'm like, I can't believe it's already, I mean, it's been almost a year. I'm like, this is crazy. So I mean, I think everybody who's ever, so I think most people in this chat have come to at least one or two of my events. So thank you, and I hope you had a good time. And I like to make it safe and sane and consensual. Safe, I would say that. So I'll make sure it's safe, and so hopefully you guys will come to more. So we're doing that. So thank you. I published some stuff on Patreon today. The girl I interviewed, if you like the interview, you go on my Patreon, you can actually become a member. You can see we did 5 random questions with her, and there's some good answers. So that's on my Patreon right now. Patreon.com/James Law Jr. Patreon.com/James Law Jr. So, and I wrote a song that I just sent to my producer. I just recorded it. So that should be coming out soon too. So stay tuned for that too. I haven't put any music out in a while, besides my artist on my label, but it's a song by me. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, I've been working on a few things since my last week was a bust. It's like, okay, now we're onward and upward. Right now I have the heater on because it's cold. It's May gray in LA, but it's gonna get sunny later. I know it is. I mean, it's like it got hot yesterday. So I know it's gonna do that. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, and some people were asking me. I have not forgot about Jackie Zeman and all that stuff there. I just haven't had a chance to do anything for her yet. I'm gonna plan something for daytime today this week. I'm gonna plan something. So we'll get there. And I saw that 10-4 Jason go live last night. I guess Matt was busy. So I'm sure they'll put something together too. It's a shame. Our regular lives get in the way sometimes. That's kind of the problem as we're trying to do this for you guys. But yeah, so yeah, some good things, Jason. There's some good things. There's some good stuff coming and doing things. Exactly. I'm putting it all behind me. I'm gonna try again. But the problem is I can't put it all behind me because I'm still tired and exhausted and crazy and all that. But yeah, I'm putting the situation behind me, but the feeling that I had going into it is still there. So I'm trying to figure that out. I gotta figure that out. So I'm working to do that. I'm going to do a show on my mental health also, probably later today. Because it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I always share my emotions. I usually do it with you guys. I tell the truth, shame the devil. I have no problem telling people I'm upset or angry or feeling. I don't want to hold anything in. Because you hold it in, it becomes a cancer. Sometimes literally. But I let it out. And I don't care what people think. I just tell people how I feel. It's because how I feel, and I tell it how I feel, and I stand by it, and we share it. And some folks feel the same way. So we can find some company. That's what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna do a show later on that, as it is Mental Health Awareness Month in May. So if you have mental health issues, don't be ashamed. It's okay. Hi, Beauty for Ashes. Hello. Hello, Megan. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody who's coming in here. I love it. As you come in, I mean, everybody here, I'm sure, is already subscribed to JLJ Media, of course. And hit the like button if you like it or not. Super chats are enabled, or sign up for a class or whatever. It's Taco Tuesday for some people, right? I have a friend. My friend who I saw the other day. I'm gonna see him today. He's gonna come see the garden before he leaves town. We'll see the famous garden. So he's gonna see the garden, and we're gonna go to lunch. So we're gonna do that, and then he's gonna leave, go back to Arizona. My friend of almost 30 years. It's funny, and it's funny that he knew me when I was baby Jamie. So that's gonna be fun. Hi, Natasha. Hello. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. I've decided for this, because for this episode, this is gonna be a shorter one. I'm gonna let you guys ask me questions. I'm gonna do a little, almost like a question answer thing. So if you have any questions about anything, you can ask me, and we'll go from there. That's why I decided right now. I said, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna let you guys, if you have any questions about something, let's talk about it. It could be anything. That's fine. I have, this show, we talk about everything from food to politics to religion to hair, which mine's a little, I have to wash my hair today. It's a little crazy. We're gonna work it out. I forgot I had a show this morning and I did not pay attention. I was like, oh, James. So before my friend comes, I make sure I look presentable. I also gotta make my bed is like crazy. My room is crazy. I guess I could put a hat on. Krista Gary, boy, I'm listening. Can't check making a whole chicken and crock. You mean a crock pot? You're a crackpot. You mean a crock pot? I love my crock pot. I have my little pig one. Everybody likes that one. But I have a bigger Instapot. I love them. Today would be a good day. It'd be a good day for something. I put a whole chicken in a crock pot for. I've done game hens, chicken, everything. There's the bomb. It is the bomb. So make that chicken crock pot. So, Krista, for me, I have just two things I love to make in a crock pot. Oxtails. I know for some of you guys are like, ugh, I know. I love oxtails. I put in a crock pot and I put all the stuff in them to go with them. Or my game hens. My game hens in with potatoes and stuff. So, Latasha, privacy is my middle name. My last name is control. My first name ain't baby. It's James. Miss Lot, if you're nasty. Yes. Happy birthday to my fellow Taurian. Some of the best artists like Cher, Janet Jackson, Barbara Streisand. They're all Tauruses like me. Have you had an interview where they weren't talking? Yes, GH fan, I have. Well, not talking, but like one-word answers. I think every interviewer has gone through it. You get some folks who are really nervous and shy. And what I try to do before I do an interview with them, if I can tell that they're not really good, I try to loosen them up. Have a little talk, kind of joking around, try to get them comfortable. I try to connect with them. So I'm teaching a class on how to interview in July. So you guys should take that class. If you're ever curious about how I interview, I'm going to teach you how I interview. Because folks like my interviews. Someone asked for that class. I'm trying to think, what day is that? It's Stevie Wonder. Yes, it's Stevie Wonder. Okay. On Saturday, July 15th, I'm doing JLJ's tips to a successful interview. So these are some of the things I'm going to talk about. But yes, it's about trying to relate to them a little bit, make them feel comfortable. Because some of them people are just really nervous. There are some who aren't big talkers, so you got to learn how to do it all. There's two ways you got to handle it. So for me, mostly, I try to just make them feel comfortable. But I have some techniques which I'm going to wait to my class before I share with you guys. But I have had the situations. And I had one guy, I can tell this story, because I had one guy who had his shades on the whole time. And halfway through the show, I was like, the ladies out there want to see those eyes, if you don't mind. They took off the shades, and then suddenly he felt better. So I don't know. I just try to make him feel comfortable. You try to ask him questions. There are times where I've just made sure I do my stuff, fill in the blanks so they don't feel like we go, so how was that concert? Great. And I'll make you something like, well, the concert I heard you did a great job. You try to talk it through. So I mean, it's one of those things. It can be tough. It can be tough. So that's a good question. So answered that. So yeah, any questions you can ask me, of course. I know the chat's a little delayed sometimes. So Krista, are you just making a chicken and that's it? Anything with it? I like making. I'm done in my crock pot, but I have a pot dish that I make with cabbage. It's cabbage, onions, tomatoes, and potato. I slice it all up and put it in there, and it's really good too. I love cabbage. Cabbage because you look at cabbage. So it's Janet Jackson's birthday. I used to 22. Okay, what other song? 5, 4, 3, 2, I don't have to do that. Throb, Throb. It's like, Janet Jackson's greatest hits. And Janet Jackson's out there on tour right now. She's a couple years older than I am. She's on tour. I saw Janet back in the 80s. So I saw her back in the 80s. Hi, Tracy Stevens. I'm still finishing Spare. I just started reading it, James Fan. A good question. I started reading one of my Prince books and Spare by Prince Harry. Those are the 2 thick books. But I just started reading those a couple days ago. So yes, I have started reading it a little bit again. I didn't want to watch TV the other night. I was like, I just want to read. So I just started reading a little bit again. Potatoes, celery, carrots, onions, and broth. Okay, right, and rice on the side. Sounds good to me. I'm a gumbo maker, but I never make gumbo in a crock pot. I just make gumbo in a big pot. I've never done gumbo in a crock pot. That's the only thing I have not done. But I have a giant stock pot, and I've made gumbo in that. The crab. I have a whole lobster that came in a box. I need to cook it one of these days. I'm like, I want to cook it. Like, I'll do a whole video, obviously, but I'm like, I'm afraid that I got to handle it. I say I have a lobster. I have to handle it. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah. So again, I'm just right now pushing my wares. Make sure you signed up. We have 4 May classes coming up. 4 May events. We have Friday. We have the publishing stuff on Friday. Grown folks chat on Saturday nights. The happy hour on the 28th and mental health on the 29th. So make sure you guys are signed up. If you haven't yet, sign up. Get your spots. They're gonna be fun and good. The wheels gonna be working. Very excited. Say wheels back. See the wheels back there. It's gonna be working. It's gonna be fun. We have a good time. And I'm trust you guys. I need to end this month really good because I had the first part of the month was the greatest. You made crock pot. I've never done a crock pot. I just done a big stock pot. I've never done gumbo in a crock pot. But I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, it's sure be fine. Throw everything in, see what happens. I haven't done it. I have a friend who does ribs in a crock pot, things like that, with soft ribs and stuff and smothered thing. I mean, I just never done it. But my oxtails kids, I haven't made them in a long time. I used to make oxtail. You have to find, well, it's hard to find good oxtail meat. I don't want oxtails all have fat on them or little tiny ones. I like the nice big thick ones. Well, don't we all? And you have meat on them. And it's just one place that actually is a butcher. Actually, going to a butcher actually is better. We had to find, I had to go into the black neighborhood. And there's one place called Hilltop Market. They used to have really good oxtails. I was like, okay. And then for a while they didn't. So I was like, okay. Either way, Tracy, it don't even matter. Crock pot, whatever, is the house starts smelling good. Either way, it's wonderful. You'll love it. Now with some gumbo. Shit. I guess there's one place. I have one place that does serve gumbo today. Ooh. I think about that. Maybe then that could be my dinner tonight. Is the gumbo? Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, they fall right off the bone, Tracy girl. They fall right off the bone. I know. Now, exactly, a couple of chefs in my family, they'll tell me these little different things that they do. And yeah, the ribs they come out are really good. They're really good. So there's some good questions. But yeah, so JH, yes. So JH, I can answer your question. I'm doing Spare and a Prince. Actually, I'll show you. I'll show you. 1 second. I make jambalaya too. Well, I come from Louisiana, so that's why I make this stuff. Okay, so I'm reading Spare, of course, and I'm reading this Prince book that's about the making of the albums Parade and Sign of the Times. And this guy has a whole series of books about Purple Rain time period. He goes through all different books, and so it's so good. Look how thick it is. I want his next book, so I'm working on that. But yeah, I am reading. Those are the two I'm reading right now. That album was good. Diamonds and Pearls was good. That album was really good. Actually, he came back. See, Diamonds and Pearls. That album has Cream, Get on Top, Cream, You Woke Up. It has Willing and Able. It has actually Diamond and Pearl, the song. It has a lot of great songs on the album. That album brought him back. That was like 91. I agree, Films and Tracy, one of his best albums. And Sherry's here too, yes. One of his best albums. It's really good. But Prince has so many albums. I mean, if I sat here and like from this thing, I love Sign of Times, double album. I actually like Parade. The movie wasn't the greatest on the Train Moon, but I like Parade. Had Kiss, a couple of cute songs on there. I mean, it has Kiss. You don't have to watch Dynasty to have an attitude. Love it. I do. I watched Dynasty and I had an attitude. I save this. So I gotta save this piece of paper. But yes. You don't have to watch Dynasty to have an attitude. Just leave it all up to me. I love will be your fool. Yeah. I remember Little Red Corvette, that video and premiered on MTV. It was played all the time. That was in 1999. I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray. I was part of the revolution for my high school talent show. I played keyboard. I was Dr. Fink. My best friend Brian was Prince. We had a whole thing. We were in Prince Revolution back then. So yes. What's so funny, Tracy? I mean, it's gonna be blasphemy. I know everybody's gonna be like, James, what's wrong with you? Purple Rain is one of my least favorite songs of his. I understand its importance. I totally get it and everything, but I never play that song. Like I never play it. That's what I gotta reshave it, Sherry. Sherry. I gotta shave it and all kind of stuff. When Doves Cries a Bomb. Was there an artist you thought was another race and you heard them? Well, here's what's funny. So I knew Casey was white because I'd seen him on some TV show. But here's the thing: I watched Apollonia's podcast on YouTube. I do. The one with Yes Films, the one with the Vanity Six Ladies with Brendan and Susan was good. I watch it. I love it. I watch it. So Madonna, some of us remember when she first came out. She was on the cover of Rain for 12 inches, and no one knew who she was. And like Madonna, okay, whatever. And I remember I had to go to the black section. It was called Black. There was pop, rock, and then there was R&B and black music at Tower Records to get her 12 inches. And many of us thought she was black or Latina or something. We thought she was something, Puerto Rican or something. And then, because she was doing freestyle music back then. And then I think it was either Solid Gold or Bandstand. When she came out, we're like, she's a white girl. I remember everybody was on the phone like, she's a white girl, she's a white girl, she's a white girl, she's a white girl. Everybody was like shocked she was white. So that was kind of thing. And I remember, and the opposite with Mariah Carey, when she first came out, I used to hear, white singer Mariah Carey. It was like, I kept looking at it going, she's light skinned, but I don't think she's just white. And it came out she was triracial. But I would say Madonna was when we thought was black. I thought Bobby Caldwell was black until What You Do for Love, But You Would Not Do. He white. And when he just died, I'm like, he was white. I did not know that. And Boss Skaggs, The Lowdown, we thought he was black and he was white in the Bay Area. So there were a few of them out there. You were like, where did that come from? Oh, we're talking Purple Rain stuff. Okay, Love When Doves Cry, of course. You're right, the movie made Purple Rain. But see, I knew, okay, Taylor Dane we thought was black too, yes. That was another one too. But Lisa Stansfield, I knew Lisa Stansfield was white. I saw her first. I saw her. And I was like, oh, okay. We knew she was white. Tina Marie, of course, no, see, I'd seen her too. We knew she was white, but she was just very embracing the black community. She was black. She was invited to cookout. And John B was so funny. I thought John B was mixed or Hispanic at first. And then I was not a John B fan, so I wasn't into him. But they're all, Blue Eyed Soul. They were like Hall and Oates, but I knew they were white. They were very much. But Tina Marie, we knew she was white because she was with Rick James. We knew she was white, but she was very. I mean, she should have been black, basically. But Taylor did. I remember seeing "Tell It to My Heart." I'm like, oh, she's black. I didn't know she's Jewish. Oh, okay. Oh, she's Jewish. So I was like, okay. Wild Cherry. I never gave much thought to them. I just because a lot of disco stuff. It was like it was a lot of disco stuff was very faceless and whatever. So I thought it was mixed. Average White Band, of course, was playing in the black charts, but they were white. Right. I thought he was black, George, until he died recently. Sade she's mixed. She's Nigerian. Helen Foladade Sade is her real name. She's Nigerian and British, and she's mixed race. So she's black. John B wasn't my thing, so I wasn't really into him. But he was big for a minute. But yeah, Bobby Caldwell, I was like, what? I was like, I just thought he was black. I mean, yeah. But then you have also, see, everybody has to give Chic. So I love getting some music. I'm just curious. The Chic organization with Bernard Edwards and Nile Rodgers, they did that beat that everybody started to copy. And Sugar Hill Gang took it, of course, and did hip hop and everything. And then Freddie Mercury had No One Bites the Dust. Very much that beat, and they gave it to him. It was very much that bass line was like, I mean, they're very. Also, my guy Ron Moss, yes, X Ridge, Player, Baby Come Back, very R&B, and they were white dudes, very R&B, very R&B. We're talking about white singers sound black, very R&B also. But that Chic thing, a lot of folks came out with heavy bass lines and started doing, semi raps and things. So they really started doing it. But Chic was the one who was doing it all, man. They just started doing. They had the intricate stuff. So yes, very much. Justin Timberlake, of course, famously went black, but he came out very R&B, and it worked for him. It totally worked for him. Disco, of course, we love disco, of course. The Donna Summer documentary is coming out this Saturday. Just because on HBO Max, you guys know that. Good morning, Tony. So yes, we're just really there's some that I would see first because I watched a lot of TV growing up and I would see them, so I knew if they were white or not. But they're just played on black radio. I mean, Blue Eyed Soul, they're all played on there. I mean, Rod Stewart was played on black radio. Elton John was played on black radio. George Michael was played on black radio. Culture Club was played on black radio. They all had those sites, those things. Pink, Pink's first album was completely R&B. Remember, she changed it up. The next album. I mentioned that, Jakara, I mentioned that. People thought she was white singing Mariah Carey. I remember hearing that on the radio when Vision of Love came out. And I saw her video. I'm like, she ain't just white. We all, black folks know their people. I'm like, no, she ain't just white. Same with Alicia Keys. When she came out Fallen, I'm like, she black, but she biracial too. I mean, she was biracial. Just knew it. So yeah, so it's I'm a huge, obviously, Speedy, I'm a huge disco fan. I was like, huge freestyle disco fan. All that, yes. There was JoJo, yes. Yeah, I love all the different age groups in here. Talk about this. I love it. I love it. I don't know how we got on music, but that's a good one. Oh, bro, Prince, all right. And it's Janet Jackson's birthday. But I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. Still, Michael was the best Jackson. Sorry. Janet second, but Michael was the best Jackson. Yes, they went very boom, boom, boom. Another one bites the dust. Yes, they're good. And there's actually some songs that Freddie Mercury and Michael Jackson recorded that have not been released yet. I've heard a few of them that have not been released yet. State of Shock was supposed to be Freddie Mercury, and I'm being Mick Jagger. Which I like State of Shock. I don't care what people think. I saw the Victory Tour. I saw the Jacksons. I bought that album. I don't care. We started really being fake. Here's the thing. Of course, we're all shocked. But here's the thing, GH fan. It's funny now. We laugh about it now. Because I remember at the same time, there were rumors that Paula Abdul was not singing the leads on her songs. It was her backup singer. There was also oh, and then that whole stuff came out with Martha Wash. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that behind the music. But she's like sitting there, she's like, I turned on the TV, saw this skinny bitch singing my song. It was for, I think it was called, I think it was for Black Box, for Everybody, or CC Music Factory, one of the two. And she's like, they took my voice out of my mouth and put on some skinny bitch. I will never forget that. I thought that was, I will never forget that. I will never forget it. And they literally did. If you go on TikTok, where they've been posting all the songs that Martha Wash sang and got no credit for, and we're talking CNC Music Factory, Black Box, Sweet Sensation. I mean, like, there was all these groups that she sang the lead on because she was fat. They didn't want her in the videos. Now, here's the thing, Daphne. Remy has some good songs. I love Centipede, #1, but she has some songs after. It's just an album called Yours Faithfully. That was on Michael Jackson's label. I love all the songs. So there. So actually, I'm a Remy fan. Actually, she did some good stuff. She had a really cute voice. Now, Tito, he does mostly instrumental stuff. He produced 3T, which I liked them back in the 90s. They had a couple of hits. But Martha Wash was a sensation. Martha Wash started out with 2 Tons of Fun and Sylvester. Disco fans will know Sylvester. You make me feel mighty real. Dance Disco Heat. Do you want to funk? I mean, just a legend. And then she went to It's Raining Men, of course, which is a huge hit for her. And but she had a couple hits on her own too. But she was a big background singer. A lot of them were. Her, Jocelyn Brown, Gwen Guthrie, they were all background singers who actually ended up having some kind of careers. But that was crazy. They were using her voice, releasing the music, and not giving her the credit. That's crazy. But the Milli Vanilli thing is funny. I kept my album. I kept the album because, girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't care who's singing it. The songs were the bomb. I love the songs. I did. All or Nothing. Yeah, Blame It on the Rain. I don't care. I loved it. I kept the album. I mean, but people were giving it back. I'm not giving it back. Like, whatever. And nowadays, it's like, it's so funny how that works. But it was, I don't care. It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all. You know, so it was good. It was good. It was huge. But it was a trip. And if the story's so tragic though, and the one guy is dead and the other one's out there kind of floundering, it was so bad. It was so bad. I kept my eye. I didn't turn it back in. I was like, I like it. All or Nothing. I mean, and Paula Abdul sang on her songs. I don't care. I like Paul. I like. That's the thing, films. That was her voice on Gonna Make You Sweat, and they didn't give her credit for it. That is, and it's clearly her voice. Everybody dance now. That song was a bomb too. When they all came out, I was a young dancer back then. I was skinny, my biker shorts like they were, with my little rat tail and my top fade, and I was dancing like 5 nights a week. I thought I was the shit. I was like, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was up there dancing my way to heaven, and I had a good time. So yes, so it's yes, I was out there doing it. So all those songs, yes. And Sylvester was about. I saw Sylvester right before he died, and it was very sad. But baby, don't forget my number. Oh my God, yes. Oh yes, all that. So yes, all of that. I love it all. Oh, we got some music. I love music. I like to talk music all day long. I love music. So yes. My baby, don't forget my number. Now I want to play it. I haven't played them so long. I got to play on my. I wonder if I have my Spotify. It's so funny. Who is my favorite boy band? I'm a New Kids girl, still today, proud of it. My favorite boy band, if I have to pick my favorite boy band all the time, be New Edition. It's all about New Edition for me. They started it all, folks. I mean, well, actually Jackson 5 started it all, but I would say New Edition. And then New Kids, of course, we love them. But see, I liked Backstreet and 98 Degrees and see, I liked all of them. I liked all. I didn't mind. I didn't mind the boy bands. O Town, that was all LFO, whatever. I liked all of them. If they had a good song, I liked it. Yeah, I make music. I do music. I like Amy Winehouse. I haven't heard in a while, but I did like her. Well, there were a lot of things that happened back in the day when it came to female singers, especially female Black singers. You're right. You're right. Films. There is. You might play this for the week. I know, right? Um, there was weight issues. There also was color issues. They would let one light-skinned Black girl through at a time. There was also, if you were a Broadway person, like Melba Moore trying to get through the regular, they had a hard time placing you. Or crossover. They let Whitney Houston crossover, but they had a hard time with Anita Baker. She talks about that. She couldn't really cross over that much. They would promote her. She already had Whitney Houston, so to speak. Like Lisa Fisher talks about how she I've seen so many unsungs and all those things. It just talks about how they just didn't know what to do with. The industry was so effed up back then. And Chris and Daphne, I have that album with that cover of Billie Jean. Yes, it's really actually Chris Cornell to me, one of the greatest voices of rock. And I mean, so sad he killed himself. I love his stuff. Now, Boys and Men is a split decision. There are a lot of folks who say Boys and Men are a boy band, and there are others who say they are. So I've always heard, are they a vocal group? Because that was the whole thing about that. It's like, well, there are boy bands and there are vocal groups, right? Same with Force MD's Troop, all of them. A lot of them 90s vocal groups like Shy, Portrait, Today. They're all, are they boy bands? Or are they just vocal groups? What is the definition of a boy? I've heard there's a podcast called New Pod on the Block, and they discuss that. And Boys Men seems to be a bone of contention for a lot of people. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't have an answer. But I don't know. So Jackson. Well, for me, Tony, seeing young Black boys who look like me with the fros and a big nose, I was happy. Then they changed their noses. George Michael, Melba Moore is underrated in so many ways, right, George? She is such a phenomenal. She did a lot of Broadway stuff, so she was a phenomenal singer. She had a duet with Kashif, remember that, George? And she had a duet with Betty Jackson. She had a lot of great songs, and they were like semi R&B hits, but they just didn't. They didn't promote her the way they should have. Stephanie Mills, of course, we love. Donna Summer, we love, and Baker, of course. Vesta Williams, oh my God, Jacarius, you don't understand. My brother Max, I can start crying. That was one of his favorite people. I have that tape on cassette from him. Once Bitten, Twice Shy. I'm Coming Back. Congratulations. I mean, she was the bomb. She was the bomb. And of course, my girls, I know En Vogue. My girl, if you ever seen my interview with En Vogue, check it out on my channel. It's Breaking Into with En Vogue, or Conversations I Wanted to. I love me some En Vogue. I love the ladies. They are the best. They're great. Yes, Melba had a lot of songs, and he just didn't. I loved her. Ladies didn't, it was like Phyllis Hyman, another person, somebody actually killed herself too, who had a jazz background, R&B. She was beautiful, great voice. Yeah, it's a shame. They didn't know what to do it. They didn't know what to do with them back then. And because of corporations making decisions that the public can't accept 4 or 5 Black women singing and having songs. I mean, now it's different, but back then they couldn't. It was so weird. It was so bizarre. And he said, "Hey, Paul, hey, there you go, Paul." It's a shame. I do know who Chris Isaak is, of course. Wicked Game, which was huge. That was his big claim to fame. So yes, I do know who he is. Vicky Sue Robinson, great, good. Well, do we go to disco, all kind of stuff? She did. She had them hats. Yes. Yeah, it's well, so my brother knew Vesta and Sherelle and Pebbles and all of them. My brother would do background stuff with them. And he loves Shaka Khan, of course. Lisa Morgan, all of them. They're all wonderful. All wonderful. They all had similar voices. Shaka, of course, still ahead above the rest. Yes, Stephanie's been making the rounds recently, Tony. She was on a Jennifer Hudson show. She's not making the rounds. And I mean, her version, see, The Wiz, I'm sorry, black folks. I don't like The Wiz movie. Sorry, kids. It worked for me. But the original cast of Broadway with Stephanie Mills in it is the bomb. It's still my favorite. And her version of Home, you put on that record. Well, go to Spotify, put on Home Stephanie Mills from the Wiz soundtrack. And that girl's like, what, 13, 14 years old, 15 years old. And when she holds that note at the end of Home, she holds that note forever. She's like, take that, Barbara Streisand. Take that, Mariah Carey. Take that, Donna Summer. She holds that note. I'm just saying. You know, so I'm just like, you know, yeah. So it's, but I just don't understand why back then we understand. Folks, you understand why. It's a racism, sexism, ageism, colorism. It's just like, come on. The Wiz is coming here to Caris in LA, actually. I might go see it. I'm going to see Tina Turner the musical. I got tickets last night, and I'm going to go see MJ the musical when it comes in December. The tickets aren't on sale yet. They were showing it. I was going to buy them, but they weren't ready yet. Girl, you know it. Girl, you know it. Girl, you know it. Girl, you know. Oh my God, poor things. I don't mean to laugh at them, but poor things. But Stephanie is getting her flowers these days, and so I'm very happy about that. Because I always thought Stephanie was underrated. Who is overrated? I don't know. Good question. Who is overrated? I have to think about that. I'm not sure. You know, I'm shady as fuck, but I can't think of anything right now. I'm like, who is overrated? I'm not sure. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I have to think about that. I'm not sure. Nobody comes to mind like right away. Never knew love like this before. Open my eyes, and put a little rush on me. I'd like to know you better. I mean, Stephanie Mills is the bomb. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes. Here's the thing about Beyonce. I'm going to say, I don't want the Beehive coming out to me. No, I appreciate Beyonce in the sense that she is one of the true superstars in the world, and especially in music. And I like Destiny Child. I was a Destiny Child fan. I was so a fan of Destiny Child. And Beyonce, she's good. She's good. I mean, she's a star, but she's good. I like many of her songs. I'm not a huge Beyonce, not Beehive person, but I like her stuff. Regina Bell was my girl. Regina Bell was my girl. Lonely Tears and of course, A Whole New World, all that, of course. But again, she got lost in the shuffle. Because, for me, it was all about Patty Austin. In the heat of heat, the heat is so hot, hot. Man, they can take control. They don't do with her either. It was like, hold me in your arms tonight. Your Little Medicine that's going to. Or the Pilot songs going to with Stephanie Mills. Oh, you're bringing in Denise Williams, which, Let's Hear for the Boy had to grow on me. I loved the Footloose soundtrack. That was my least favorite songs, but it grew on me. But her other stuff, Black Butterfly and It's Going to Take a Miracle. I mean, she was like, oh, that's a good one too, George. Don't respect the power of love, Stephanie Mills. I agree with you completely. And Denise Williams needs to get her props too. Oh, yeah, Daisy Flower, I'm with you 1,000%. Not a great actress. And her singing is okay. I agree with you. She's a competent, she's like Jennifer Lopez. They're competent singers. They're fine. Competent singers. But yeah, she's a great performer. Oh, she gives you performance. She gives you performance. That I will not take away from Beyonce. She gives you performance. Stacey Lattis song. I love. Well, I used to love that song. So Johnny Gill. Here's a little trivia question for answer for you guys. Johnny Gill's one of the few people who's had hits solo, as a duo, as a trio with LSG, and in a group, a New Edition. He's one of the few people who's actually had hits 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that crazy? And I met Johnny Gill. I met him several times. Oh, Karen White was my girl too. But Superwoman was good, but my song was The Way You Love Me. I love the way you love me. Yes, I have to get off here soon. Shit. So I wish I could stay on here longer, but I have to get off here soon. I still only have an hour. I have 45 minutes. I got like 10 more minutes, kids. 10 more minutes. But let's not forget people like Tracy Spencer or Shanice. I love your smile. As somebody mentioned earlier, Nika Costa, I saw her open for Prince's musicology tour in San Jose, years ago. And she was good. I liked her. And also, I also mentioned somebody else too. It was like Nika Costa and Anastasia. I'm sad that she didn't make it in America. She's huge in Europe. I love all her songs. She has a new album coming out, I heard. Big fan of hers. Big fan. Oh yeah, I used to be a DJ. I used to be a DJ back in the day. So I definitely I used to put songs together, and I had a huge music collection. I still have some, everything. So yes, I could do it. Live dance party. I could do it. So yeah, Peebo Bryson is like Teddy Pendergrass, Peebo Bryson, Freddie Jackson, Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen, and I need the same dream. I saw him in concert recently too. He was good. When the going get tough, the tough get going. When the going get tough, the tough get going. Suddenly, life has new meaning to me. Hi, Crystal. Yeah, Crystal, I have to get off in like 10 minutes. We're talking R&B music, which I know you know about. Yeah, Tender Kisses. That's like Tracy. Well, Tracy spelled like yours. She spelled her name like yours, I believe. I think it was with I. I agree. I agree. Phil's 5 by 5. I agree. We love Xtina, of course. We love Xtina. We love her. Right. Another voice. The voice. Another voice. Hey, Mr. DJ, you can get it started. We ain't ready to party. Remember Jeanne? It's a groove thing. It's got a funky swing. They're big for a minute. Listen to the vibe. Listen to the vibe. They were the. I used to love Jeanne. That was my other group. Jeanne. High Five was good too. I like the way the kissing game, or Soul for Real with you are on my mind. You are every little thing you do. You're on my. I used to love them too. They were the bomb too. Candy Rain, all that stuff. But no one beats my, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell you what you want, what you really, really want. That was my group. Oh, so IE. I knew it was close, Tracy. I knew it was close. I knew it wasn't the Tracy with a Y. I knew that part. So I was close. I thought it was interesting the way she spelled it. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I mean, there's so many great singers who didn't get their due, folks. We all just named like 30 singers that didn't get their due. It's a shame. It's completely a shame. You know, and I said, I've seen enough of these unsungs, behind the music, true Hollywood stories. They just didn't. The business was so different, and the business is still kind of the same way today in some ways, and that's kind of what we're trying to fix. That's why folks are on striking and stuff. They're trying to make things better. And that's what we're trying to do. Unfortunately, I want to continue talking to you guys. I have to go. I don't want to go. This talk was so good. Sign up for my classes. sign up for my classes. I got stuff coming up this weekend. If you haven't signed up, check it out. I have below this video. I have all the listings below the video. I posted everywhere. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I'll be on in the morning, and we'll continue more of this discussion. Have a good rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you guys next time.